Hello, everyone. This is Yeshua Said My Name. I'm going to delve right into part two here, talking about the Sasquatch. I have audio I want to play you from Ron Moorhead from the Sierra Sounds. Those of you who may not be familiar with Ron Moorhead, he was camping a couple of decades ago with a friend, and they happened to capture audio of what they believe was a literal language taking place between Sasquatch. The sounds you're about to hear have been analyzed by professionals, and you can research this yourself, that this is indeed a language. Also, it has been determined that the vocal ranges that these beings are using, human beings cannot replicate. Our vocal cords aren't capable of making the sounds. And there have been people in sound studios that make this profession to figure out what, like the sounds of an animal out in the forest. What is it? Well, this what you're about to hear cannot be replicated by human beings. And then I'm going to get into some other pictures for you that myself and Kristine have experienced on her property. So listen here.
So I just got off my conversation with Ron Moorhead, fascinating guy I've been following for a very long time, and a shining pillar in the Bigfoot and paranormal community. Those were the Sierra Sounds that you heard. You can get those at Ron's website, ronmoorhead.com, 10.
Okay, ronmoorhead.com. So keep that in mind. I want to delve right into the pictures that I'd like to show you. These are some stick structures that have been found on Kristine's property. There are times I've spent the night at her house multiple nights in a row, and I've heard the side of the house being banged on, rocks being thrown. I've heard tree knocks. I've heard whistles, howls, language that can't be explained. We go out in the yard almost daily, and there's these wide sticks that are driven into the ground with structures. Like this was not here the night before I spent the night. I went to bed, and she and I sat out on the deck, and of course the next morning this was here. Now, who put that there overnight? We've also been finding, okay, this is the deck situation I was telling you about. I went and leaned on the deck, not leaned on it, but put my hands on it, and the deck gave way. And as you can see from these pictures here, the plastic was not just pulled out of a piece that was fit together. It literally was, you can see the jagged edges where the plastic was literally cracked and pushed through. That happened overnight as well. Here's another picture. This is an example of some of the rock structures that we have found. Again, the day before, none of these things exist, and here they are the very next day. Here's another one that we are not putting up. We find these things in her yard. We've also noticed dead animals. I've noticed that after we've walked the yard and prayed, the enemy is not happy about that. We're standing on the name of the Lord, realizing that we are heirs together with Christ, seated with him in heavenly realms. The Lord has given us all authority over the power of the enemy, and we claim that. Well, I found a dead bird in the yard the following day. And Scott Carpenter, the brother I introduced to you yesterday who does Sasquatch research, has stated emphatically in some of his videos that Sasquatch will leave dead birds and dead animals on your property as a warning. So we found a dead chicken the following day. So the dead bird came first, then this dead chicken. I mean, come on, that, this The stick was driven into the ground, and this is just one of many. And this is a daily occurrence. Daily. This structure, I don't know what it means. Again, I'll stay the night, and there's nothing like this going on in the yard. And then the following day, structures are put up, trees are driven into the ground, sticks, dead animals, knocks on the side of the house. It's just, this tree literally was ripped from somewhere and dropped into her yard. This was not here either the day before. A part of her tree that was there the day before was literally ripped off and we think thrown into the yard. Things like this happening, like who is doing this? There's no one coming into her backyard in the middle of the night with a saw and sawing off half of her tree and throwing it in the backyard. So let me go through these pictures again. Maybe that was the top of that tree, but I believe it is. I don't know what this means. Things like this, dead animals being found in the yard quite regularly. And it's usually after we've prayed and commanded it to leave in the name of the Lord. Rock structures, we cannot understand like what is going on. I also have pictures of her deck furniture being thrown, chairs, tables being thrown from the deck all up into her backyard with no explanation. And again, here's the deck was busted through, literally pushed through. You could see, again, the plastic jagged edges where the plastic was pushed through. It wasn't just gently unhooked from something. Someone came and pushed this through. And we found more damage to another part of the deck about 3 days ago. But these stick structures happen overnight with no other explanation, in my opinion. But again, I just wanted to play the Sierra sounds for you and bring up Ron Moorhead in case you're unfamiliar with him. Play the Sierra sounds. I want you to look into them because apparently no human vocal cords can replicate those sounds. And it is been determined by linguists as well that what you're hearing are vowels and consonants and actual communication taking place between very intelligent beings. And again, I wanted to share more of these pictures with you that I myself have experienced. I've heard the house be banged against, rocks thrown against the house. I mean, there's so many things. I still have more pictures to show you in part 3. But thank you for tuning in. This is a very real phenomenon. And if you're experiencing these things, you're not alone. And I do believe this is part of Satan's end time army that he will use to unleash upon the earth. God bless, guys. Thanks for listening.